And welcome back inside historic Callahan Hall, getting set for Titans and Flames. And Dan Leach here with Bernie Foose. Take a look at the starting lineups today. The Titans will go with the second starting lineup they've done this season, with Anton Wilson, 6'5" junior from Flint, Michigan. Of course, Juwan Howard Jr., the senior captain of this team. Matt Grant will get the start learning instead of Gerard Williams, who has
score. You got to be careful if you're Detroit right now.
Kane and McClellan to tip it up. We're about to get underway here at Callahan Hall. A very vitally important home game for the Titans in conference, and they win the tap here. Like the first 5 minutes of this game, especially after what happened at the end of the Valpo game, Bernie, very key for Detroit. Always
the first 5 minutes, both the first half and second half. It sets the tone for the game, Dan, how you're going to play. You establish your identity early.
Bass loses the ball out of bounds. Getting his paw in there was Paris Burns. I mentioned Burns, third on the team for the Flames, coached by Howard Moore in his 5th season. He's 6-25 last year and 44-106 overall. Bass will trigger the inbound to Kane, who loses the ball. Early turnover, not good for Detroit.
So Detroit made a concerted effort there to get the ball to Paris Bass, had him bring it up, posted him up down low. They want to get the young freshman involved early, but an unfortunate turnover there. Not how they want to start versus the Flames.
Jay Harris now controls, the 6'1" grad student from Aurora, Illinois. Spent his freshman and sophomore year at Valpo Junior College at Wagner, and the triple is good early on for Marquise McGuire. The Irish eyes are smiling.
That's what they do. They drive and kick. They are not bashful. All 5 guys from shooting it behind that three-point arc. Detroit has to be ready for that drive and kick, get a hand up and contest those three-pointers.
There's a screen set by Kane. Howard Jr. skips it over to Wilson, wants a 3 from the right corner. That's short. And rebound goes to Jason McClellan. And Titans, Bernie, unfortunately, have started slow in each of their last 4 games.
And that's part of that consistency, Dan. They've got to find that right now. UIC already getting out in transition. That is the first bullet point on the Detroit scouting report. Get your 1 and 2s back. Get in transition. No easy baskets or drives for UIC.
McClellan can't get the lay-in to go, but draws the foul on Kane as first and the team's first. And Usafa Kane's been eligible, Bernie, since the December 13th game against Wichita State, really kind of coming into his body. It's the first free throw made by the 6'9" junior from Fort Collins, Colorado. Still a lot to be desired, but you got to have respect for a guy that's come from Western Nebraska, wasn't playing until the middle part of the year, and really seems to be getting better and better as we go on here.
I think you make a good point there, Dan. Finding his body, you find that a lot of times in high school and college basketball players, you find these big guys, they haven't really grown into their bodies, haven't really got coordinated, so it takes them a few more years than per se your point guard or shooting guard. If he can find his body early, monster style, he could be a big valuable asset for Detroit these final 6 weeks.
I like monsters. And the UIC throwing the press on. They rarely press, so trying to mix it up here early now in the hands of Paris Bass, looking for a cutting Wilson, bounces it over to him. Titans had some very good ball movement in the second half against Valpo, but really broke down defensively at the most important times as Bass fires a 3, and that's too strong, and it's rebounded by McClellan, and Titans are 0-2 in their first 2 possessions. And that's picked off by Bass, though. Coming right back the other way, looking for Howard Jr. Instead takes it himself, off the window and in.
I like that. Detroit got a little greedy there. Couple 3-point shots, letting UIC off the hook on the defensive end. Great steal by Bass. Didn't settle for a jumper, took it to the hole. That's what Detroit has to do. Attack that rim. Don't settle for outside 3-point shots early on.
And Bass almost steals it again. It's rolling on the sideline there. It's going to go out of bounds off the Flames. So turnover number 1 for them off of Jay Harris's foot. The former player, Bernie Foose, there liked that decisiveness by Paris Bass, didn't he?
Well, the kid he's poised. He's a freshman, but he's poised. I love that word, and that it really suits him right now. He's just an effective player. He's very smart on the court, and he's very poised, Dan. And you look right there. He does it in all areas, not scoring. He gets active hands. He plays it on the defensive end, all over the court.
Wilson drives the lane and draws the foul. He'll go to the line. You just saw Ray McCallum. Are they going to call an offensive foul on Wilson? The Triple King has moved down to 7th overall in the Horizon League at 3-point field goal percentage. Really has worked on his overall game, though, driving a lot more, distributing the ball. The number 2 player in the Horizon League based on 3-point field goal percentage is now Chris Jenkins, who's back from injury for the last couple games.
We talk about Wilson. I agree, Dan. You have seen his growth this year. He was strictly a 3-point shooter the last couple years. This year, though, driving the lane, making himself a much more well-rounded player.
Too easy there for Paris Burns, and the Flames have opened up a 5-point lead with under 17:30 to go here. Now Matt Grant controls it into the hands of Bass. Dribble drive, passes it to Wilson. Now Howard Jr. for a triple. Splish splash. He's taking a bath. And Howard Jr. getting off early, a key in this one.
Well, nobody called Juwan Howard Jr. bashful. He's taken on nearly twice as many shots as any other player on the team. The bottom line is he is going to get his no matter what. And quite frankly, Detroit needs him to score and be effective to win games, and he recognizes that.
Harris controlling it now. Titans are playing an intent man-to-man defense. They planned on playing some zone today, and we'll switch in and out of that.
They are really crowded UIC, and specifically Jay Harris right now. He burned them from 22 points last time they played, and Titans force a turnover.
Yep, and the Titans have been playing some very, very good defense. Unfortunately, they've been breaking down at the worst possible times, but it has gotten a lot better over the past 5-6 games. Now Anton Wilson over to Grant. Howard Jr. looking to create some offense here. A little pick and pop jumper, and that's short. And it's off the hands of Flame, but back into Fell's hands. And as we mentioned, Bernie, Amon Fells, the 6'5 senior out of Terras of late, averaging 22 a game over his last 3.
He's been an absolute monster. UIC right now, Dan, on fire.
Yeah, Bird's there hitting the 3, and he's third on the team with 10 points a game. And the Titans have got to start playing better defense on these blockouts.
We talked about their defense. At the end of the day, look, you might miss some shots. You might have an off day on the offensive end. There's no excuse to have an off day on the defensive end. To me, that's all about effort and execution. You can do that any day and twice on Sunday.
And Grant on Sunday, which is normally a lucky day for Citizens, doesn't get the lucky bounce there. In and out on the triple, and the Flames already with a 5-point lead at 10-5. Looking for more. Now a 3 to the left wing by Harris. That's short, but UIC gets the rebound, and Fells has it, and they'll reset with Burns.
And that's what UIC can do. They're the top offensive rebounding team in the Horizon League, averaging 11 games. So if you're Detroit, if they get those 3-point shots off early, you have to find a body and box all 5 guys out.
And they're going to call an offensive foul on Burns. That'll bring us to our first timeout. It'll be Titans ball when we come back. A little herky-jerky start. Detroit finds themselves down by 5. You were watching it so far.
And that's par for the course for the team this year. Slow starts, ineffective efficiency on offense. The bottom line is they got to get it done on the defensive end, Dan. It's a big thing in my mind. Offense comes and goes. It's what happens. But you can control that through your defense and get easy baskets off your defensive stop. Detroit has to put their focus on that right now, in my opinion.
Chris Jenkins, the transfer from Colorado and local U of D Jesuit High School, and Jaleel Hogan, the great freshman from Saginaw, who has been a beast energy-wise around the board on both ends of the floor, have checked in for Detroit. Nice bounce pass to Hogan. Can't get it to go, but he'll go to the free throw line. And Bernie, you look at Jaleel Hogan, you know, the guy has got size. He's 6'6", 233, has really become more and more of a force for this Titans team on the offensive end, getting second opportunities, and on the defensive end, pulling on rebounds.
He's got a man's body. Okay, he's young, but he's got a man's body.
So he's not 40. He's not a man.
And he uses it. I'm a man. I'm 40. But no, if this young man can find his way on the offensive end, we just saw a pretty ugly free throw there, can find some way to be effective and put that ball in the basket, he can be a beast, not just this season, but obviously for the remaining part of his career, because he has that body.
Mark Brown checks in for Leonard Moore's squad. The 6'4 senior from Dallas, Texas, averages 7 points a game, 4th on the team for Marquise McGuire. Hogan's second free throw is no good. And Hogan, struggling from the free throw line all season long, came into the game averaging just 47% from the charity stripes. Got to improve on that.
Not good. That's in the Dwight Howard, Shaquille O'Neal type genre.
Now you can't say Andre Drummond anymore. He's getting better.
That's right.
Flames.
He's a work in progress.
Yes. Gotta love Dre's got my space coat that I like to wear. And Hogan almost picks the pass off there.
Matthew Grant doing a great job on Jay Harris right now. Harris has not had a chance right now to be very effective in this game thus far.
Harris swings it over for a left wing 3, which is too strong by Amon Fells. And UIC struggling from 3-point land the last few possessions. Now Grant looking to start the Titans offense. It's over to Anton Wilson.
Ooh, feed the big boy down there, Wilson. Hogan had great position. Wilson hesitated, though.
Howard Jr. in the lane now in a little trouble. 16 on the shot clock, and the Titans will reset. And here's Hogan setting the screen as Grant will drive the lane. Now Jenkins, second place three-point field goal percentage shooter in the Horizon League. Only 5 on the shot clock now. Titans got to go. Jenkins down the lane, almost gets called for the foul, and he draws the foul with 1 second on the shot clock. Little bailout call there, maybe.
That was just honestly fantastic defense by the UIC Flames. The Titans missed Hogan wide open down low a few times, and right there at the end, the 35-second tick, an uncalled for call, foul by UIC. Coach Moore is angry, to say the least.
Yeah, he's right next to our broadcast position, wearing a very dapper orange, and I don't know, is that chartreuse first free throw missed by Chris Jenkins' jacket there?
He's looking good, though. He's sharp. Shannon Sharp style, if you will.
Oh, yes, that foul called on the Flames on Paris Burns, and you got 1 on him, now 3 on the team, 2 Titans team fouls. Chris Jenkins, of course, was injured in the game against Wright State, came back after missing 1 and is really kind of working himself back into game shape.
That's always the tough part, too, when you get injured, right? It's tough to get back in the flow of things. You're out of the game for a while. You're out of potentially a few games, right? You come back, you still feel that injury, you got the confidence problem, then you got to worry about the X and O's. It's always an adjustment for most players, and Jenkins is finding that to be the case right now.
Did you ever deal with that with your playing career, where as Burns drives the lane, he gets it to go, where you were out for a couple games at a time, any period of time, and you know, work your way back?
I had a few ankle twists here and there, but I never had a situation where I actually missed a few games. Now, my partner in crime, Willie Green, who now plays for the Magic, he missed a few games, and it took him an adjustment period to get back after he hurt his knee back in 2001.
Brandon Kearney in the game for the Titans, and wow, Hogan with the position there. Draws the foul. They'll call it on Jake Wiegand, who can't believe it. That's the 14th foul now on UIC. Howard Moore's about to lose his jacket, I think.
Well, I think Wiegand thought he was a thespian there in terms of acting.
Well, he's a big Shakespeare guy. The Tempest is his favorite play, for the notes that I read. Howard Jr., a little fake in the middle of the lane, fires it up, and he gets it to fall.
Good.
Howard Jr. rolls it in with 1.21 gigawatts and draws the foul.
And thought he was his dad. They're playing in the NBA. Continuation. Draw the contact, get it up, and 1, baby. That's shot by JH2.
He gets it to go, and the Titans now trail by 4, and Howard Jr. will go to the line and complete the traditional three-point play. He's averaging 18 points a game, 4.4 rebounds, over 1,000 career points. And you got to love what Howard Jr. has been able to do. He's 21st overall in Titans history, Bernie, and he's currently not that far behind his father, Jawan Howard Sr., who scored 1,526 points, and former Titan Jermaine Jackson, who's going to be honored today during the game, sits at number 20 on the list with 1,341.
Irony, to say the least. It's all about family bragging rights between the Howard family if he can get above his dad.
Jay Harris with a nice slicing move down the lane. He's got 4 now, and the Titans back down by 5. Kearney right back the other way, up and in. Brandon Kearney going on.
I see you, Brandon Kearney. Look at many accolades coming out of high school, Michigan State, Arizona State. This young man, look, time is ticking. Get to the hole, be aggressive, do you. First play in the game, he does that, plays great defense on Harris right there. Kearney coming out strong.
Harris throws the ball to Elijah the Prophet, turnover number 3 for the UIC Flames, and the Titans now can tie the game with a 3-ball. Bass, Brandon Kearney, Hogan, Carlton Brundage now checking in for Detroit. The former Michigan Wolverine, and Chris Jenkins, the 5 on the floor for Detroit.
Detroit does play a lot of guys. They're very athletic. They're very talented. So there's no excuse for letting up, not playing hard. Somebody's going to come in and give you a breather.
Hogan back it in. Wiegand puts it up, can't get it to fall, but draws the foul. And once again, you see the aggressiveness and the determination of Jaleel Hogan.
He doesn't care. Look, he might not be a great free throw shooter, but he's going to get that other team in foul trouble. Wiegand's got 2 already.
All right, so the Titans.
Time to do that, but that time is running out.
Detroit shooting 50% from the field so far as Hogan has free throws coming as we come back to live action. And Titans now cut the lead to 2. Flames shooting 62% from the field. 6 points in the paint for each team. 5 points off of turnovers for UIC. Titans have 2 points off of the Flames turnovers. And Hogan makes the pair of free throws. And now Flames just down, up by 1. And this is the closest we've been since early in the game when it was 2-0.
Again, Detroit found a way to get back in this game. Started off slow. Seem to be finding their rhythm right now. Bottom line, though, is going to stick with it on the defensive end. Have active hands and don't foul. You do not want to put UIC on the free throw line. One of the best in the country from the charity stripe.
Paris Burns controls it for Howard Moore's squad. Brundage playing some tight defense. Titans have really played solid D for the last couple weeks, just haven't been able to close. Almost another turnover. It is a turnover as the Flames are throwing the ball all over the place. Kind of a little Jerry Lee Lewis, great balls of fire action.
Detroit doing a great job commanding and recognizing those ball screens. UIC loves to do a lot of pick and pops. The guard is getting around that edge. Great help side by the postman, corralling that point guard. They're forced to throw long cross-court passes. 2 turnovers in a row.
Am I the only one that thinks that Marquise McGuire looks a little like Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons? Is that a compliment?
I don't know. I mean, Sideshow Bob had some stardom, although I think he passed away in the show.
Yes, but I wish nothing but the best for Marquise McGuire. Here's Carlton Brunage between the circles. Looks for Hogan in the lane. Hogan really trying to post up early in this one. Backing down Wiegand, backing him down again. One pump, now a bounce pass, and he turns it over. Back the other way is Harris for the Flames. He's going to fire it up there and get it to go. Harris making a tough decision and gets it to go.
He's a veteran player, 5th-year senior, a graduate student, as you said. Had Carlton on his knees. Down there, down low, great pass.
Great pass for Brundage there to Hogan, who finishes it up, and Hogan's kind of off to a nice start here for the freshman.
Detroit going down to him, getting him involved, going Hulk Hogan style on us. I love it.
I'll tell you this, it looks like Coach McCallum and his staff have really decided to make him a focal point here early. You haven't really seen that throughout the season so far. It's getting more and more ramped up, it seems, but tonight, definitely so far, the most I've seen Hogan looked at early in a game. 16-15 now, the Flames up by 1. And that ball will be kicked off of McGuire's legs. 10-13 left here, Bernie. And, you know, after a very porous start for Detroit defensively and offensively, they've calmed things down and they got the lead to 1.
I like what they're doing. Active hands. They're really using their feet. They're not putting their hands in the cookie jar, if you will. And the guards for UIC, they're having a heck of a time right now getting around that pressure.
Pick and pop shot there by Brown, and he hits it. And the Flames are shooting pretty solid from the field right now, 66% so far here in the first.
Mark Brown, usually known as a driver, but he will shoot that 3-point shot and be aggressive on the defensive end. As you see right there, you have to find him in transition as well.
Titans will trigger the ball back in with 27 on the shot clock. Under 10 minutes to go in the first half. And like we've been saying, if the Titans want to have any chance of hosting a first-round tournament game, they're going to have to win a game like today's. Here's Bass, loses the handle for a minute, gets to Brundage, who fakes the 3. He'll drive the lane, fire it up, and he will draw the foul. Oh, we got some pleasantries or unpleasantries going on. Are they going to call that an offensive foul? Are they going to change the call? Nope, they're going to call it a block.
He was inside that circle. Brundage got down there, attacked the rim. It was a good take by the UIC player, but that's why they had that little circle right there. Too far underneath. Block every time.
They call it on Wiegand, his first, the team 7th already, so at least 1 plus the bonus for the rest of the first half. Officials today, by the way, Kip Kissinger, Kendall Smith, and Thomas Short, who's actually pretty tall.
That is correct.
Brundage will get 2 from the free throw line. The first is good. He came in, did CB 23, a 71% free throw shooter, averaging 2.6 points a game and 2.5 rebounds. Really kind of a roll guy off the bench, but has given some good minutes. And we got a lane violation. A violation on Brandon Kearney, so no more free throws for Brundage, but we have a 3-point game nonetheless, 19-16. And now the Titans picking up full court, and it's almost stolen. Brundage can't hold on to it, but I like what the coaching staff is trying to get the Titans to do here.
Well, look, they're going to give some pressure in the full court. That's how they won the game back in January at the Pavilion. And UIC got a steal there with 3 seconds to go and got a foul call. It's from that pressure.
And Titans are still picking up full court, and a timeout is called by the Flames. Jay Harris.
UIC having. We've got our green pom-poms, as you may see later.
Yeah. I got that for you, my man. Marquise McGuire, it's kind of the Irish green. Maybe he would like it. Speaking of the aforementioned McGuire, Titans picking up at half court now. Brandon Kearney will defend Jay Harris, gets it over to McClellan. UIC trying to move the ball with some kind of abreastness, but having issues with the Titans' highfalutin defense. There's McGuire, right wing 3, and that's good. Deadly for Marquise McGuire.
Great defense by Detroit for 20 seconds there, but give credit to UIC. They penetrated the gaps, drew the defender, kick out to McGuire, and he canned it. UIC looking good from behind the arc early on.
Flames right now are 4 of 6 from behind the arc, and Titans can't get that one to go on Paris Bass, and now they're down by 6 as Detroit. Back the other way is the Flames, and maybe getting a little confidence here as the midway of the first half gets by. And that ball's going to go out of bounds, so it'll be another turnover for UIC. That's going to be turnover number 7, Bertie. And we got subs here for Detroit. Howard Jr. comes back in, Matt Grant and Chris Jenkins to go along with Jaleel Hogan and Paris Bass.
Both teams play a lot of guys out there playing hard. I give both teams credit. Look, they're not in the thick of things in terms of first or second place, but they are battling for position. As you said, Dan, it's important to get winning going down towards the tournament, but also to get home court advantage. Detroit has that opportunity. It's a lot easier, if you will, to play a tournament game at home than being on the road.
There's Jenkins with the left wing. 3 splash. He's taking a bath. CJ 0 with a huge 3. 22-19 now. Bernie Titans down by 3.
Detroit needed it right there. UIC seemed to have a little bit momentum. Canned a few threes, up by 6. Detroit comes right back with a 3 of their own. They're right back in this thing.
Wilson checks back in for Hogan. He's guarding Fells right now. Now Grant will come and step up on Burns. Screen set by Ty Odiasi. Titans playing a high-branded defense, and it causes the 9th turnover for UIC. And that is really what's worked for Detroit the last several games, especially at Valpo before they relinquished the lead to Detroit, is playing that pressure ball denial defense and causing the turnovers.
All season long, Dan, that's when they've had the most success. You have that less athleticism, you have that talent, use it, especially on the defensive end. You get yourself easy shots, better opportunities then.
And the bank is open on Sunday as Howard Jr. bazingas it in, and we are tied at 22, 6-0 run for Detroit.
I'm going to pull up Brian Williams right there and say he looked right at me before that and said he was going to use the backboard. Or maybe not.
Too soon. And a 3 right back the other way by Paris Burns. Actually, they're going to call it a long 2. Speaking of turnovers, Detroit forced Valpo to turn the ball over. That normally takes care of it very well. 20 times. Right wing 3 by Howard Jr. That's short. And that shows you the kind of brand of defense Detroit's playing as of late.
No doubt about it. We got a fun game right now. Back and forth. It's a regular old track meet. Both teams going back and forth. A little bit more pep in the step. It's a 3-point barrage right now.
All we're doing is missing Ben Johnson in his steroid water bottle and Carl Lewis. Down the lane is Burns. He kicks it out to McGuire for 3. And that's good. No one can miss from downtown. That's 5 straight threes out of the last 6 attempts for both teams, and 2 straight for UIC, and they're back up by 5.
UIC going to a 2-3 zone right now. You can kick that ball in the middle of Paris Bass, kick it back out to Wilson. Not there, but Bass, oh my God, Dan.
Yep, he gets right back up there and puts it in on the rebound, and that's what Paris Bass can do when he's playing down in the low.
One of those players, he doesn't need the ball in his hands to have an effect on a game. He does it every which way, whether it's active hands, loose balls, rebounding, steals. He fills the stats and affects the game in many ways.
And McGuire is completely unconscious from downtown. He's hit 2 of his last 3 and 3 of his last 4. McGuire leading all scores right now with 12, and UIC back up by 6.
Well, you think you heard your Sideshow Bob comment, and he is angry right there.
Take it out on me? Tell him I'm a better fan, at least as a good citizen. Bass misses everything there off the backboard, and Detroit a little out of sorts. That's what the Titans have been lacking at times, is kind of slowing things down, getting that kind of leadership when a team's going on a run.
They're playing right into UIC's hands by picking it up right now.
Almost turned over there by UIC, and another 3 here by Fells. That's short. And Bass is going to run and gun it.
Look out.
Has it to Wilson. Wilson throws it off the window and misses it. And Wilson looks a little ginger as he's getting up. We would have slowed it down there a little bit.
I think it was a good take. You got to control yourself in the air. They'll go off 2 feet instead of 1. A little bit of contact there, but the referee's not going to reward you when you jump off 1 foot like that with a little dipsy-do.
Titans out of yet taking advantage of the fact that UIC's got 7 fouls on them. The Titans with just 2. Detroit will shoot 1 plus the bonus at least the rest of the way here in the half. And right down the lane, nice fake there by Paris Burns. And he will go to the line when we come back. But as it stands, the Flames on a 10-4 run after Detroit had cut it to 1. They lead by points from Marquise McGuire, who has been unconscious from downtown. He's hit all 4 of his 3-pointers. Paris Burns also with 9 for the Flames. Titans led by 9 from Juwan Howard Jr., including 2 and 3 from downtown, 4 each for Bass, Jenkins, and Hogan. As we come back, Burns will get 2 free throws. The first is good. And now UIC with their largest lead of 7 at 31-24.
Kendall, I think Detroit has been playing some pretty darn good pressure defense. They forced 8 turnovers. Unfortunately, UIC is just hot right now, especially McGuire from behind the arc. I mean, they're shooting 73% total, 67% from 3-point range. You just have to hope you keep playing the defense. I hope that UIC cools down.
Now Howard Moore's going to press. This team rarely presses. We were talking to Coach Steph from UIC before the game. It's Howard Jr. Nice tipsy-do. Move down the lane. And Howard Jr. now with 11 points. He's got double-figure scoring, and you got 2 Flames right now with double figures.
Howard right there could have settled for the 3-point shot. Did a good job, though. Shot faking, dribble to the lane, beautiful spin move, and getting the easy 2.
There's a left wing jumper by Whitaker. It's short. I call that the snow cone move, if you will. I trademarked that about 10 years ago on a sidewalk in Farmington Hills. Here's Kearney, swings it over to Howard Jr. And there's Gerard Williams just checking the game, the defensive stalwart. And that ball turned over. Here's McGuire. Kearney's going to try to get back. And McGuire gets it to go.
Nice finish.
McGuire is really doing everything right so far today.
He is taking that comment you made and just taking it right to you, Dan Leach.
This is the reverse announcer's jinx.
Broadcaster jinx.
Now Brandon Kearney, as the Titans find themselves down by 8. Gerard Williams up and off the lane and off the window and in. The square used well by the sophomore from Danville, Virginia.
That's how you beat a zone right there. You penetrate the gaps and you get that ball to the middle. Detroit's doing an effective job there the last 2 times down. They just got to find a way to get a stop on defense.
Nice crowd on hand at Callahan for a little Sunday early afternoon basketball. Over 2,500 so far today. And a pick and pop jumper, good by Brown, the senior from Dallas. He's only one of 2 UIC Flames to have appeared in all 24 games this year. And the Flames back up by 8.
Boys like Mark Brown's game. I broadcasted a few games of his. Always plays hard, underrated shooter, and he attacks constantly.
Brandon Kearney misses the 10-footer, so the Flames can extend the lead. Right back down the other way is Paris Burns, short on the layup attempt, and Howard Jr. grabs the rebound. And here come the Titans. Over to Wilson, fakes the 3. Now Williams. Gerard loses it out of bounds, but it's off the foot of Lance Whitaker, and that'll bring us to the under 4 timeout. The Titans try to get back in this one. They trail by 8.
Steals in transition, and a nice, pretty layup there in transition against Kearney as well. Detroit has to find him in transition.
You just saw the University of Detroit men's lacrosse team flashed here on the screen, and the women got a big win against Worcester, Ontario today. I must say those Detroit Lady Titan lacrosse players with highfalutin capability. Right wing 3 by Gerard Williams is good. So Williams cuts the lead to 5, and he hasn't been scoring much as of late, but has been playing great defense. To see him open up on the offensive end, a key for Detroit.
So again, one of those players finding and adapting and playing his role. Might not be a big-time scorer, but he makes shots when needed, plays strong defense. They need more of that from all 5 guys in the court.
Let's see if the Flames can extend their lead as we get towards halftime, or Detroit can come back in this one and get some momentum going.
They put Williams on McGuire to see if that can take him down, but he's just gone away from him and he's wide open.
Titans still playing some good defense, but letting the seams be done as Brown hits the free throw line jumper, and Detroit can play as good a defense as they want, but if UIC doesn't miss, what can they do?
Now Detroit's trapping that guard in those ball screens. UIC continuing to do that. When Detroit gets back, they're losing those one-on-one battles.
Under 2 minutes to go now. Wilson thought about a 3, but Williams will take another 3 and drain it. Splish splash, he's taking a bath. The sophomore from Danville, Virginia, maybe on a pirate ship that time. 2 in a row for him.
Needed it. Now what Detroit needs now is a stop on defense. They got it down to 4. They've scored 4 points. They need to get a stop, especially on this young man right here, number 34.
Don't let him shoot a 3 if you're the Titans. The ball was picked off by Matt Grant. You got both sophomore guards out there, which you don't see as much this season as he did last year when they took over as the all-freshman backcourt mid-season. And a shot missed there by Paris Burns, but put right back up and in by Mark Brown.
That's the problem. When you play trapping, attacking defense like that, you lose sight of your man, and it suscepts you to offensive rebounds. And UIC, again, is the best at that in the Horizon League. That's their 13th rebound to just 5 for Detroit on the day.
And Wilson wants a 3. That's short. Kane can't get the rebound. It's into the hands of Brown, and the Flames can extend their lead here with under a minute to play in the first.
Detroit needs a stop here. It's a 6-point game. Get a stop, get it down to 4, possibly 3 before half. You're looking a lot better than you are right now.
Grant intently guarding Paris Burns. Burns runs the show for Howard Moore's squad. Now it's a 3 attempt by McClellan, and it's good.
Gracious.
The Flames are literally NBA Jam on fire from downtown. They're 7 of 10 from behind the arc so far today, Bernie.
Man, oh man, Alicia Keys style. These guys are on fire.
Hey, it is the Grammys tonight. And by the way, Jeff Lynne's ELO. You've got Beyonce performing, Katy Perry, and how about this? Rihanna coming up to support you, Bernie. He came to see you, not me.
Papa Leach in the house.
And we've got an inbounds coming from Juwan Howard Jr. Titans sent out Howard Jr., Williams, Grant, Citizen Kane, and Anton Wilson. And they've got literally about a 0.4 second differential between game clock and shot clock. You basically hold for the final shot of the half.
From Detroit right now, run a little bit of a weave action. Without a doubt, they're going to go to give that ball to Juwan Howard Jr. You know he wants it. You know he's going to take it.
Just don't shoot it from half court. That's all I ask. Here's Jerron Williams. He fires the 3 at the buzzer. No. Rebound Grant. Now Anton Wilson fading away from downtown. And it's going to go out of bounds with 0.6 seconds left. So maybe get a little throw in here and a tip in, not much else.
This is when you do the Shawn Kemp play. You throw it up towards the rim and just let him go get it. Unfortunately, I don't think Shawn Kemp is on the court right now.
I don't think Shawn Kemp can do that anymore at his current state anyway. Or towards the last 8 years of his career. There's a last-second shot by Grant.
Oh!
Matt Grant, it counts at the buzzer. They're going to go to the monitor. From Carlton Brundage at the free throw line. Titans out-rebounded in that first half. 14-7. That's got to change here as we get set in the second.
Yeah, rebounding and three-point shooting. Look, the bottom line is UIC hasn't missed a lot of shots, so there haven't been many rebounds to get from Detroit.
And Bernie, the first time this season the Mary McCallum has not gone with the same starting lineup for the first half as the 3 is missed there by Paris Burns, Jaleel Hogan in, and Jerron Williams along with Matt Grant, Bass, and Howard Jr. And there's Bass who puts it up and in, showing that athletic ability. Rhodes, where we're going, we don't need Rhodes.
And I thought that was, frankly, a bad pass by Williams. But somehow, some way, Bass was able to corral that in his hands and finish. Good break for Detroit.
43-38. The Titans trail by 5. Now McGuire, don't want to let him get going early in this half. Off the backboard, the side of the backboard. And here comes Williams. So a good start here for Detroit early in the second. Williams off the window and in. And McGuire down on the floor. Looks like he's going to be okay, but kind of lost it and hurt his right arm. He's shaking it off right now. Is Sideshow Bob. I'm sorry, Marquise McGuire.
Now, see, last time he said that, he went on a three-point barrage, my friend.
No, it's the reverse curse this half, my friend.
Reverse curse, reverse curse.
Here's Jay Harris. Didn't have much of a loud offensive first half, and that ball off the Flames. And Harris in that first half, just 4 points. He came in averaging a team-high 13.5, and Howard Jr. tying his shoe as we got a sub here for Howard Moore's squad. Mark Brown will come in, the 6'4" senior from Dallas, Texas, the 3rd leading scorer on the squad at 7 points a game, 4th leading scorer behind Burns, Wiegand, and Jay Harris. So a good start for Detroit here on a 4-0 run, and they cut it to a 3-point game. That
was the question. How were the Titans going to respond here in the second half? That Matthew Grant shot at the end of the first half, looks like that momentum carried in here the first 2 minutes here. Detroit coming out strong, playing hard. Quick 4 points to get back in this, baby. They're looking good.
8-2 run if you go back to the end of the first half. Detroit trailed by as many as 9. And now Matt Grant with 12 on the shot clock. He loses. Bodies flying. And it'll be a tie-up possession. It'll sticks with Detroit. So they'll have 10 on the shot clock. Howard Jr. will inbound it. Nope, they're going to give it to Bass to pull the trigger. The Titans will have to get going early in this possession. Now Grant controls it. Dumps it to Bass. 6 on the shot clock. Bass down the lane. Off the window, and he will draw the foul. And it looked like, in that particular situation, McClellan had a decent position, but they called the charge.
Yeah, he did. Paris saw him, tried to adjust himself to get in there and get to the rim. Good job by Bass. Excellent execution on offense. Now you got to make your free throws.
Man right here doing it.
And now we are about to be joined and get a special treat from a Titan legend who was honored today. Let's hand the mic to Jermaine Jackson, my friend. Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. How you doing, man?
Doing well. And listen, you received the John Connie Award today, which obviously was started back in '84, and it's given to just a legendary player that meant a lot to the organization here at Detroit. What does it mean to you?
It means a lot to me, man. I mean, I was, you know, kind of honored and surprised about it. Shedded a little tear here and there just for, you know, the way I was raised in here from Perry Watson and Cricket Lane, Kathy Bush, you know, and the athletic director, the Sister Faye, and everybody like that, how they embraced me and, you know, helped me become a young man and an older man and helped me become the person that I am right now today. So I was truly honored.
Yeah, JJ, one of the things we've talked about in the broadcast today is leadership. What Detroit needs the last 6 weeks to kind of get back in the swing of things. You know, obviously I've watched your career and what you've done in the community. You know, the word that comes to mind when I talk about you is leadership. So for the young folks out there,
well-dressed man as well during the break.
We're very well-dressed. I know he's not on camera right now, but Jermaine Jackson looking sexy and respectable as always. But leadership, you talk about the young kids, this team. In your mind, what's the most important thing that demonstrates leadership in your mind?
Well, one of the biggest things is coming in and establish yourself every day. You know, establish yourself when no one is watching. You know, taking yourself through the practice before practice, taking yourself through the games before the games, you know. And it's just to the fact that the position that I played as being a point guard, I knew where everybody on my team liked the ball. I knew what type of ice cream they liked. I knew where they. I mean, honestly, I knew.
Their favorite movie.
Yeah, because you have to.
Right.
You know, because you always got to have to make your teammates feel good. And then, you know, as being a leader, it's just like playing a video game. You have to know every button on the joystick. So once you know every button on the joystick, you're a coach on the floor, and you know the head coach can kind of relax a little bit, and then you can talk to him, and he'll relate with you, and he'll give you more leeway because of, you know, the work that you put in practice. You know, the extra sprints that you run in practice, the extra shots that your power forward and your center see you put up, and just, you know, not manipulating your teammates, but making them think and know that they're better than what they are, and giving the extra effort. But you have to do it first to become a leader.
Titans trail now by 3, and they'll get the ball back here. We're talking with honoree today, winning the John Connie Award, former Titan legend Jermaine Jackson. And now listen, I have a sheet of unbelievably accolades for you. I can't go through all of them. It would take the whole half. But you know, you are a 2010 Detroit Titan Hall of Fame inductee, 2-time All-Horizon League Player of the Year. You stand out, and you got 4 letters to the university, scoring 1,341 career points. You've been in some great games for this Titan program. Is there one that sticks out to you the most? I know you got a lot to choose from. Is there one that you really like to look back on when you're thinking of your great days here at UDM? Yeah,
it's one game when we were on the road. I think it was conference championship, if I'm not mistaken, or it was a conference championship. But keep their head up because a lot of those guys could have quit. So when you had a guy like Bakari Alexander, that was more of a, you know, off-the-court leader with those guys like Walter Kraft and telling those guys to keep their heads up. And, you know, that game right there was really a, you know, memorable game to me.
JJ, I guess I got to say, man, it's been a pleasure knowing you the last 16+ years. Congratulations on the award today.
Thanks.
We need more people like yourself. We need more leadership like people like you in the community out there.
I'm with you, man. I'm a phone call away.
All right, baby. All right.
We appreciate that, and congratulations again. And we could maybe use you talking to this team in the locker room to give them some ideas about leadership, right?
Hey, thanks a lot, man. I won't say nothing about that. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you.
He's a phone call away.
JJ, I appreciate it. Congratulations. Jermaine Jackson, Titan legend, joining us here, and congrats to him as he and the Titans have a great lineage, and Gerard Williams has put the Titans up for the first time today, and Howard Moore is livid. Thanks so much.
What do you think about that, JJ? Again, the Detroit's been in every single game, Dan, but for that Arizona State game, if you will. And look, they have the talent and the capability, as we talked about many times, to beat any team, quite frankly, in the country. But they got to put it together right there with the Jermaine Jackson run. Titans go on that big run.
He sits down and they go on a 10-2 run. You got to love that. And we will have the under 16 timeout, as Dan Leach predicted. 15:05.
Is a popular outfit these days, and I don't know what book he was reading there. It might have been that new 50 Shades of Grey. I'm not sure.
I think it was Mockingjay from the Hunger Games series. I haven't gotten to full authority yet. First free throw good here by Jay Harris. Jay Harris is not scoring like he's used to so far in this one, just 5. He came in as the team's leading scorer. Only 3 players averaging double figures for this UIC team, Bernie. The Flames now back in the lead. It's only our first lead change as Detroit had their first lead about a minute or so ago. And now Gerard Williams, Howard Jr., Brundage, Bass, and Jalethal Hogan, fast earning that nickname, are the 5 on the floor for Detroit. Here's Howard Jr., breaks it away. Wide open 3 by Brundage is short, but Hogan cleans it up and draws the foul. And once again, Hogan is that guy on the offensive end that will get you a rebound and put it right back up and draw a foul. It's been so key for the Titans in the last couple of weeks.
He's having his day right now, showing off that strength. Hulkamania, brother, when Hogan gets in there.
You gotta look at those 24-inch pythons running wild on you. Jaleel Hogan so far on the afternoon with 6 points. He's 2 of 4 from the free throw line. First free throw is missed. He came in shooting just 47% from the free throw line. That's got to improve, but he has actually over the last couple of games, Bernie, been making more and more of his free throw shots. Just started very poor.
Jermaine Jackson just said that. That work is done in the summer, okay? You can't just all of a sudden start practicing. You can get a little bit better. Once the season ends, that young man needs to not just get in the weight room, which he's already clearly been doing, but get in that gym and start practicing those free throws when nobody's watching.
We are tied at 51. Detroit led by 11 from Howard Jr., 10 from Paris Bass, and Gerard Williams with 14, tied for the lead of all scores along with McGuire, who's yet to score here in the second half, thankfully for Titans fans, after hitting all 4 of his triples in the first half. It's behind the back dribble by Burns to a 3-point attempt by McClellan. That's short, but it's rebounded by UIC. Another crack at it here.
Offensive rebounds, you have to box out. You cannot rely just on your athleticism. Use position. There's Mr. Bass.
Bass gets the turnover. Back the other way to a Howard Jr. left wing 3. That's short, but Brundage gives him a second opportunity. Titans have really started to gain and wrestle momentum away from UIC that was hitting everything in the first half, and UIC just shooting 53% now in the second half.
Good job by Brundage to get that offensive rebound. A good reset for Detroit. Work that ball, be efficient with it. Going down to Hogan's Heroes again.
Hogan going up strong here in a reverse layup. Gets it to go. Jalethal Hogan with the hoagie sandwich. And the Titans have their largest lead, 53-51.
What you gonna do when Hogan gets down the lane and throws down 2?
I gotta tell you, Bertie, over the last several weeks, Hogan has become more and more of a factor, not just on the offensive end, but the defensive end. And that ball is tipped, and Hogan comes down with the rebound. Hogan's Heroes, if you will.
He is playing fantastic right now, just being a warrior down there.
Now Jawan, Gerard Williams, and Williams will tied up. Wow, the possession arrow favors UIC, so they will get the ball back.
Real quick jump ball call right there.
I think that was, speaking of 1.21 gigawatts, they go to 88 miles an hour on that call?
That wasn't even 1.1 seconds there, but.
Well, it'll be UIC ball. Brundage will pick up 3-quarter court as Harris has the ball. Jenkins in now for Detroit. Transfer from University of Colorado, local UD Jesuit star, and the foul drawn on the drive there from Jay Harris. That'll be the second team foul on Detroit, so they huddle up under the basket, but I like what I'm seeing early in this half. They came out fired up, playing good defense, and not do early in this game.
Gotta love the energy. You gotta love how they're attacking the rim right now. Again, they're continuing that pressure defense. The big thing, though, right? This is on the stat report, the scouting report. Excuse me. If you're going to play that aggressive defense, you cannot put your hand in that cookie jar. Hogan just did right there. You do not want to put UIC on the free throw line. They're one of the best in the country, especially this young man shooting almost 90%.
Makes a pair of free throws. You don't want to see him heat up. He leads the team with 13.5 points a game and 65 assists. As a grad student, you rarely see grad students playing in major college basketball. Russell Wilson did it in college football famously, but you don't really see it in college hoops. And baskets, the ball picked off by Jay Harris. And like I said, you do not want to get him off, especially for a desperate team. And he scores, and now the Flames are back up by 2, just like that, on a 6-2 run.
Well, he is officially off, okay? 22. He's got 10 points now. Harris, the former Valpo Crusader, getting his work done, finding himself. Detroit has to be careful.
He spent the first 2 years of college at Valparaiso, and then his junior year at Wagner, kind of the well-traveled man, if you will, of the Horizon League. Bass will take a seat, as well as Carlton Brundage for Anton Wilson, the Triple King, and Brandon Kearney. BK12 will look to flame broil some triples.
That's that grad rule, right? Once you graduate, you go to grad school, you can transfer without having to sit out of here.
Yep. That's why, as I mentioned, Russell Wilson did it, going from North Carolina to Wisconsin, and was very successful for the Badgers. And here is Jenkins, who is hurt a few games back with a shoulder injury. At first, Mike Miller, the longtime Titans trainer, didn't know what the problem was, but they figured it out, and he's fine. Left foot dribble by Todd Wilson.
Oh,
Splish splash! He's taking a bath. The Triple King from downtown puts the Titans back up by 1.
Great shot by Wilson. Now Detroit has to get a stop. Funnel Harris, get him under control.
And now the Titans playing some high pressure defense, but a triple is off, and good for Mark Brown. And this Flames team is now 8 of 11 from downtown.
Surprised Brown took that shot and didn't kick it to McGuire, who's had his own fantastic day himself.
And there's Wilson.
Not giving up, Dan.
No, this is a team that has lost 8 in a row, but is about as desperate as they come. And Hogan will put it up and draw the foul and get it to go. You mentioned the 24-inch pythons, eating your vitamins, saying your prayers.
Transition, they hit three-point shots, they attack the glass. One of those things where they're just missing that one little element to get them over the top. But you can see right now, they play hard. Coach Moore has them playing hard, playing aggressive, believing in themselves right now. And a team like this, they've got nothing to lose, Dan. So they're out there playing hard, seeing what happens. You know, not with really a care in the world at this point. And sometimes that's dangerous when you play against it.
And I apologize, the scoreboard had it wrong before the break. The Titans up by 1 now, show them up by 2. So Detroit now with a 59-58 lead. Jaleel Hogan will take a seat. What a great performance that Jaleel Hogan has had so far in this one. Now Hogan with 12 points, his first time over in double figures in the last 9 games. And there's a shot blocked by Citizen Kane.
I must break you. Great rejection.
And Brandon Kearney back the other way for Chris Jenkins' triple attempt, but he pulls it down as he lost it there. Looked like Jenkins was going to fire it away. BK12 will fire it away, and that's too strong. Rebounded by McClellan. Here come the Flames.
Now you have Chris Jenkins right now playing the top of that little amoeba 1-3-1 defense, trying to corral Harris. They boggled him up the last few possessions after he got hot for a second.
I used to study amoebas. I got a D+ in biology, as there's a travel call there on Lance Whitaker, no relation to Lou. What was the other thing called? I remember mitosis. Amoebas were great.
I do know the mitochondrion is the powerhouse of the cell.
Yes, it really is. And it really is a game changer, much like my space code is. Hashtag game changer. Gerard Williams will get it up to Kearney, and now the Titans can look to gain their largest lead of the day. They've led by as many as 2 and just took the lead in the last 4 minutes of game action.
Oh, the gate play, I love it.
And there's a triple by Wilson, in and out. And Gerard Williams fights for the rebound, can't get it. And here come the Flames, trailing by 1. McGuire, who has cooled as of late, he's 4 of 5 from downtown. There's a triple that's short by Jay Harris, and the rebound to Kane, almost loses it though. Howard Moore has his jacket off, the Flames coach, and not happy about some of the calls as of late.
I think that could probably have been a foul call on UIC, so it's a give and take right there, Coach Moore.
Under 10 to go here. Titans desperate for a home win, as they're currently in 5th place in the Horizon League, behind Oakland, who they'll play in less than a week. It'll be a huge game at the O-Arena.
Wow, Harris almost got that one.
And Williams off the window and in. A nice move, slicing through the Flames defense for the sophomore from Danville.
Harris tried to put his hand in the cookie jar, almost got that steal, but put himself out of position. Williams made him pay with a great attack to the rim.
And that ball was picked up by Williams, but he draws the foul, does Jason McClellan. Now, these cookies you speak of, are they macadamias?
No,
are they
pure chocolate chip.
All right, pure chocolate chip.
Soft batch, they're delicious.
Because I'm a fan of the white chocolate chip cookie, but lately, as you can see, I'm svelte these days. I'm not eating as many desserts. I want to look like our sideline reporter, Holly Hedemark.
Harris taking a break right now. Detroit has really wound him down fatigue style. And there's the man. Oh, he's cooled off.
He is cooled off finally. Now he's 5 of 8 from downtown, and the rebound to Jenkins.
He has not gotten many looks this second half. That might have been his first shot attempt, if I'm not mistaken, of the second half. Kudos to Detroit for bottling him up.
It's all going to be about defense here, Bernie, in the second half. As Detroit played great D in the second against Valpo, just could not hit on the offensive end and let Valpo score a lot with 3, 4, or 5 seconds left on the shot clock. And Williams slicing through again and puts it up and in. Gerard Williams having one of the best games of his young Titan career. He is now over his year high at 18 points. And he's off his career high by just 3.
And he is making them pay. Strong, being aggressive, using both feet, and oh my goodness, Mark Brown.
Huge triple by the 6'4" senior from Dallas, and the Titans are up by 2.
I don't know what it is, but this young Mark Brown man seems to have a good game against Detroit every time I broadcast.
No, he's always all over it, isn't he? Maybe it's the Birdie Fooses loose curse.
It's the broadcasting curse, just like with your Sideshow Bob curse.
Well, it's worked in the second half, hasn't it? Here's Anton Wilson into Citizen Kane. He loses the ball.
You got to know your personnel right there. Even if he caught that, he's out of position.
Back the other way is Brett Harris, and the foul will get called on Kane, and that'll be Yusafa Kane's second personal and the team's 4th, and we've got the under 8 timeout.
361, and this young man at the line, though, got to be careful. Armand Fells, we have not heard from him today. We talked about him at the outset. The tear he's been on, playing out of his mind.
Averaging 22 in those last 3 games.
Extremely quiet in today's game.
It's his first point. You just saw the Titans coaching staff, one of the best coaching staffs in the country. 3 former head coaches at multiple levels. And the second free throw is good, so we are tied at 63. Jawad Howard Jr. back in for Anton Wilson. Howard Jr. has 11 on the afternoon. You have 4 Titans now in double figures. Gerard Williams with a year-high 18. Jaleel Hogan with 12, 10 for Bass, and 11 for Howard Jr. So the Titans go with Matt Grant, Bass, Jenkins, Howard Jr., Jaleel Hogan, and Jenkins trying in. Can't get it to fall, but he will draw the foul. And Jenkins will go to the line. CJ shooting free throws, and these will be the second and third of his afternoon, or third and fourth, excuse me. He's 1 and 2 so far from the line, and Jenkins came in a 67% free throw shooter on the season.
I like this Bass-Jenkins combination. 1, they look alike. 2, they both play hard and do it in all areas on the basketball court. Great pass by Bass. What a fantastic drive and slash by Jenkins. That's what Detroit needs out of him, and he looks like he's coming around now from that injury.
You just saw the famous Chris Jenkins O-face, and that's why he wears 0. Whenever there's an interesting play call or missed free throw, you'll see that from CJ, 0. So the Titans back up by 1. That's our 3rd lead change. Or excuse me, our 5th lead change.
And Jenkins is playing great defense right now, but that one top spot, getting his hands on those balls.
Almost turned over the Flames again. The Titans continue to pressure that defense. A 3 away and short for Harris, but then up and in and drawing the foul is the man that you have jinxed, Mark Brown, the senior from Dallas. He's one of only 2 UIC Flames to appear in all 24 games this year, played in all 31 last year, and has been a Titan killer many of his years.
Well, I got to say, Detroit's playing that little 1-3-1 amoeba defense. It's worked for them on some of these possessions, but right now it's working against them, because when you play a zone like that, it's a lot more difficult to box out and get to the glass. UIC making them pay on the offensive rebound end.
Brown misses the 3-point play, though, and the Flames lead by 1, and Howard Jr. short on that one, and Matt Grant's going to hustle back for it, and since it was touched by a Flames player, it won't be an over and back call.
Detroit got away with one there, right? Juwan Howard, that's a bad play call, just dribbled down and took a quick shot. Not what you want to do to stop the momentum.
And Bass getting called for the charge. Brown. And the Titans find themselves in a very gray area right now. That'll be the 3rd foul on Paris Bass, the only Titan with 3. There are no Flames with 3 fouls right now, so no one really in any kind of major foul issues.
And I believe they actually might have called that one on Hulkamania Hogan for kicking his foot out there and tripping Mark Brown.
I think they did change that to Hogan. It will be his 3rd, not Bass's 3rd.
Travel.
Brown, that looked like a travel to me.
Two in a row.
No call there. Now Brown's got the ball back. 10 seconds on the shot clock. It's over to Harris, double teamed. Skips it to Brown. Nice ball movement by the Flames. The triple is too strong by Fells. And here comes Howard Jr. in Detroit. This behind the back dribble over to Paris Bass. This could be the time where maybe Paris Bass finally takes over a game for the first time since Northeastern, where you heard the slam heard around the world, if you will. He took it straight to Pound Town in that one.
Give Hogan credit right there. He's got 3 fouls, but he is battling down there, and UIC has their hands full trying to stop that young man's huge, powerful body down there. He's trying to assert himself and get position, and the Titans are looking for him down there.
Anton Wilson will come in for Chris Jenkins. Bass to trigger it, gets it to Howard Jr. down the lane, floater, short, but he'll get called for the offensive foul. He looks right at official Thomas Short. And not happy about it, but Howard Jr. always showing the composure, never loses it, and got to give the team the ideas to not get that, have it being any kind of an issue.
Well, a tough one right there, too, because I'm not sure that the UIC defender was in position before Howard left his feet. But the call is what it is. Detroit has to start getting a stop on defense right now. They're sticking with that 1-3-1 defense. We'll see if they continue to have some success with it. UIC has burned them with some of those offensive rebounds.
Bernie Valpo went to that 1-3-1 in the second half and really hurt the Titans offensively. The Titans are trying to do it, but it doesn't work there as Paris Burns drains the long shot, and they're up by 3. The long 2 it is. 16 now for Paris Burns, and Paris Bass will come back the other way, and Coach McCallum will call a 30-second timeout. So you look at with these last 5.5 or so minutes now, Bernie, what is it at home here in the coverage? There's 6 games left overall, Bernie. They got to get it going and get it going now.
It starts right here. Attack the glass. Don't settle for long 3-point shots early in the clock. Keep posting up Hogan. Get the ball in Howard's hands. And at the end of the day, Dan, make a play. Make a play.
And here's Anton Wilson, the triple king. With 8 seconds left on the shot clock, Titans have got to get going now. Matt Grant running out of space, so is Paris Bass. He's going to go down the lane, jump step, throws it up, and the shot clock violation is in hand. Ray McCallum holding his hand up saying that he was fouled, but that looked like a pretty clean block to me.
It did, and the referees are not going to reward you there late in the clock with an off-balance shot. The one thing about Detroit in the offensive end right there is they did not do a good job of working that basketball. The guy with the ball and everybody else was just standing. You have to move without the basketball, occupy defenders, put some secrecy into the game on offense. Right there, all 5 Detroit Titans just standing around watching somebody with the basketball.
Bad news for Detroit is Jaleel Hogan now limping off the court, and Jenkins back in for him. But it would be a big blow to Detroit if Hogan's lost for any period of time. Looks like he might just be cramping up, and we'll get you the latest on that as soon as we find out. He's going towards the end of the bench right now, but UIC content with running some clock here as we're under 5 minutes to go. The lead is back up to 4 for the Flames. Down the lane is Burns, blocked off the window, can't get it to go, but we have got a foul as Burns will draw it.
Well, Detroit went from a 1-3-1. They went to a man-to-man defense right there. They knew they had to switch to defense. Coach McCallum made the right decision. They did. Detroit got up off-balance layup. They missed. But one thing, again, they didn't box out. Offensive rebounds are going to kill you. And UIC killing Detroit in the glass right now.
And the foul call on Gerard Williams. The more bad news to come for Detroit is that now they have 18 fouls. And Ty Odyssey will shoot free throws.
And more bad news for Detroit is UIC, one of the top free throw shooting teams in the country.
Yep, UIC came in 73% as a team from the free throw line. You got multiple players above 80%. Second miss, though. There's your little announcer's jinx. By the way, they're working on taping Hogan's ankle right now. There's Gerard Williams for a wide open right wing 3, missed everything.
There's 2 open.
Gerard Williams hit 2 of those in the first half. He's not happy about that. Titans down by 5, under 4:20 now to go here. In the second, Detroit's got to find some offense and find it soon because UIC seems to be gaining steam as we go on here. Now it's Harris.
You got to get a stop.
And Harris drains the triple, and that was a big one. Harris has been really heating up here in the second half. He's got 13. Titans need a basket in the worst way. Over to Bass. Bass down the lane, throws it up, and he gets it to go.
Needed it. Needed
Had to have that one.
Stay within striking distance, 6-point game. Detroit on defense, the man-to-man's fine. With the lineup they have out there right now, you can essentially switch every single screen. No need to take that screener into the play. Just switch.
Now it's Paris Burns. Burns working on a 16-point game. You got 4 UIC Flames in double figures. A team that has struggled to score in large swaths this season. And that's a nice move down the lane by Ty Odyssey. And he will go to the free throw line and shoot 2 more when we come back. So the Titans trail 72-66. We lose at home here to a team that is 5-19 on the year and has lost 8 in a row. It's not going to be very happy tidings in the Titans locker room.
Games like this, you just lost 2 games on the road at Milwaukee, at Valparaiso. Now you come here with some home cooking, hoping that's going to jumpstart you. A loss right here could frankly be more than demoralizing. So Detroit needs to get it in gear this last 3 minutes and 20 seconds. I like what they did. They got out of the 1-3-1, went to man-to-man. Good call in my opinion. I would advise them, though, to switch those screens instead of going through those ball screens. UIC loves the ball screen. Switch those screens and just block out.
Odiasi helping him out there. He's just a 36% free throw shooter. He missed them both, Williams, and he'll get called for the charge. Position there by Odiasi, making up for the 2 missed free throws. That's like an extra possession for the Flames on offense there, 72-66. Williams made a nice move to the basket, but good position by Odiasi.
That would be Detroit's 12th turnover. They were winning that department, but a series of unfortunate turnovers by Detroit and some great shots by USC has them down by 6. Titans now going with a 2-2-1 pressure. See if they fall back into a man-to-man. Looks like they'll fall back into a 2-3 zone, so Coach McCallum trying any kind of defense.
Man, you got to do whatever it
spice
takes.
Things up.
Is that an unfortunate series of events like that Lemony Snicket's movie? One of Jim Carrey's worst of all time. The Titans could use a turnaround of that right now. And here's Harris into the hands of Burns, back to Paris. 4 on the shot clock, 3's on the ground. Brown's got a fired up desperation shot, of course. He drains it. And now the largest lead for the Flames, just 1 point off. Their largest was 9, but it's their largest of the second half. And the Titans in a lot of trouble right now, down by 8 with under 2:30 to go. Jenkins backing in McGuire, puts it up, can't get it to go. And here comes UIC. They can work on some clock. Bass almost fouls him. Playing some tough defense. The mismatch on size there with Bass and Paris Burns, and Howard Moore right in front of our broadcast position telling his squad to calm it down.
Well, Titans look a little bit demoralized right now. That's the word of the last 3 minutes. They played great defense last possession, and Mark Brown hits a tough shot from the top of the key, Rip Hamilton style. He's been doing that all night. Detroit got to find a way to get a stop right here.
3 seconds left, 2 for Harris, and that's good, and that might just be the dagger as Jay Harris now with 16. He's 2 of 4 from downtown, and the largest lead for UIC as Howard Jr. puts it up and in, and Coach McCallum will take a 30-second timeout. But Bernie, the Flames right now in the midst of a 17 in the last 5 games.
The schedule is not being friendly to them. Some powerhouse teams at the Horizon League upcoming for them. And a loss here to UIC really kind of puts you in a damper mood, to say the least.
That it does. Flames lead it by 9. It will take a minor miracle. You mentioned the Oral Roberts game that Juwan Howard Jr. and Chris Jenkins get to overtime, and a tie-up will go to the Titans. So maybe the miracle starts here. You heard Jermaine Jackson talking about sister Faye, who maybe the spirit is working right now.
Or I could say Sister Christian.
Well, I like that, or Witch Hazel. Sister Hazel, too.
Motorhead. All right, Detroit, they got to stop, and they got it quick. Now you got to get a bucket.
Here's Howard Jr. down the lane, puts it off the window and in. So they cut it to 7 with 1:10 left. And as you mentioned, the Flames, a great free throw shooting team. So the foul game might not be the best play, but they've got to play that play.
You got to foul the right guy. And unfortunately, as you said, a fantastic free throw shooting team. There's no Dikembe Mutombo, Dwight Howard, Shaquille O'Neal out there to foul. You can be sure Coach Moore's not going to put him in.
I'll tell you who you don't want to foul. It's Mark Brown or Jay Harris. Mark Brown, an 83.6% free throw shooter coming in. First one for him is no good, so
announcer drinks.
There you go. Brown,
true.
0 of 2 from the free throw line so far this afternoon. You also have another player at 83%, but he's not playing. It's Jay Parker, who's injured. So you got 2 over 80% and 4 over 70%, and the Flames up by 8. Howard Jr. with under a minute to go. Titans will have to start taking some threes soon, and there's one of them right there, and it goes in.
Wow.
Howard Jr. wants to keep this game going, and we've got
immediately. You don't have the luxury of deciding who you foul at this stage with 53 seconds left.
McGuire having trouble getting it in. He finally does to Paris Burns. Let's see if Paris fouls Paris. He doesn't. And the Titans look like they're going to play some straight up D here, try to turn him over. And he steps out of bounds, and there is the turnover. And Jay Harris and Howard Moore cannot believe it. He just yelled out to his team, keep it off the sideline. So, Bernie, everything in the 5 checklist thing that needed to happen at the end of this game to get it back into some kind of a possibility, 3 of them haven't so far.
Got to keep it going, though. It's a tough task, to say the least, but you got to keep going.
And Howard Jr. loses the ball, and that was an absolute bone-crushing loss, as Howard Jr. had a chance there to cut in this lead, and he turns it over, and then the Titans have got a foul. It'll send Paris Burns to the free throw line. As I mentioned, Burns came in a 75% free throw shooter. He's 2 of 2 so far this afternoon, and 2 free throws here, Bernie, might be enough to close the door on any Titans comeback.
Joanna, he's the guy everybody in the gym knows he's getting the rock, but at some point, if you got 5 guys on you, you got to give that ball up, reset it with 40 seconds left.
First one is good for Burns, and he's got 16 to go along with 16 for Harris, 22 for Mark Brown, who's had a huge second half. And the second is good, so UIC back up by 7 with 34 seconds left. And Howard Moore might have his guys start fouling, so the Titans
got to get a 3 right here.
And there's Bass trying to probe the lane. Gets it up and can't get it to fall. And it's out of bounds to the Flames, and that will just about do it, Bernie. And
well, surprised Bass did not get that call right there. UIC defender was riding him the whole way, and especially when he got to the hoop there. Tough break for Detroit.
Well, this is going to be a very, very devastating loss for a Titans team that had really needed to get a win today. And I mentioned that schedule coming up: Cleveland State, Green Bay, Oakland. I mean, it's going to be a very tough task for this Titans team to finish on a high note and try to host a game.
The bottom line is, look, you got to turn the page. If you lose the game tonight, forget about it. Turn the page. Keep it going, because if you're going to dwell on this, it's not going to help you at all going forward. Watch the tape, learn from your mistakes, and hit that drawing board again. That's all you can, in the weight room, in study table, whatever it takes. Now is not the time for a young man to mail it in. If anything, you work even harder.
You give up when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Don't worry, he's rolling. Let him go. Got to get some John Belushi in an ending like this one. 15.8 seconds left. Titans down by 7, and it really is just a matter of the time running off the rest of the clock here. The miracle comeback looked like it was possibly going to take place yet again here at Callahan, known for historic comebacks at the historic Callahan Hall, but the Titans will not be able to get it done tonight. And obviously, this will be one of those games, like you said, Bernie, they got to block out of their minds. The first free throw is good by Jay Harris. Flames by 8, just 15.8 left. Nice effort, though, by Jaleel Hogan before he had a little injury issue. Looks like he's going to be fine. He had 12. Gerard Williams with a huge game, a season-high 18, and that ball out of bounds, but it will stay with UIC off the missed free throw. Bass had 12. Juwan Howard Jr. with 18. So, you know, as we will get ready to talk to Coach Ray McCallum after this one, there were some bright spots. The play of Jaleel Hogan, the play of Gerard Williams offensively as well. But, you know, once again, a disappointing and in many ways devastating loss, because you lose to a team that had lost 8 in a row on your home floor. It's 5-19 coming into the season.
And look, you know what? You take your cues from, look at this team. UIC came in here 5-19. 8-game losing streak. Look how they played. They played hard. They played under control. Look, no doubt about it, they shot the lights out, but you don't see them giving up. Same thing for Detroit. Look, tough loss. This will be 3 in a row for you. Hit the drawing board again. Take a page out of the UIC fight book, okay? Do what they did. Come back out. Who knows what can happen.
Well, we talked about this throughout the game. This
Kevin Durant when the NBA tips off.